But one of the things, like, and so I wrote this down, is Superman's his origin is rooted in the Jewish immigrant experience, right? And coded resistance. So what do you make of the fact that his images were eventually co-opted into a symbol of American whiteness? Right. And where does that leave space for like other like types of heroes, like Black superheroes or immigrants like today, right? Like
I want to get back to that.
Right, yeah. And I think that's important because like even a history that you talk about where like the Marx Brothers and, you know, the Three Stooges and them being a tool to resist, you know, Nazism in the United States and in Germany. Like I thought, and the creators kind of using those things as fuel to like write Superman. I think that all that is so important.
Seagal acknowledged that the rise of Nazism, he's not just an American who happens to know that Nazism is rising in Europe. He's an American who's Jewish, who has family in Europe, who he hears less and less from until he never hears from them again.
Yes.
He knows what's going on. He talks about it in his memoir. He talks in a BBC interview about the Nazism and the persecution, the rise of anti-Semitism here. That was what inspired him. And Superman was what's called in psychology a reaction formation.
There was a duality. There was a double consciousness of like who they saw themselves.
You wanted to be all American.
Yes.
All American meant white, Anglo-Saxon,
yes.
Protestant.
Yeah.
It meant you put on a fedora,
yes.
you comb your hair over, you wear a boxy suit, yes. and you become an American. You come from the boat, you come from Krypton with the Hebraic name Kal-El, with your cultural, colorful habit or whatever, your dashiki that's red and yellow and blue. You get rid of it. Put it under a suit. You comb your hair over, you get this name that basically you might as well call yourself white bread, right? You're Clark Kent. A Jew would come up with a name like that for himself.
Right, but don't you find it frustrating that people don't know that history? That they actually use, like, that he was born from this, like, history of resistance, history of immigration, and that people...
And assimilation,
and assimilation, right? And that they become ahistorical where they use him as a symbol of American, like, pride and nationalism, but forget his, like, the roots of his origins, right? Which is very much a part of the story and a part of the lore, right? Like being the only Kryptonian. He is an immigrant to this country.
He's a refugee.
Like, yes, he's a refugee, yes. Raised by, in a foreign land. Like how people forget that and don't make the association.
And hopefully now a few more people watching this will know, and maybe they'll tell their friends.